Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Star Wrestling. I'm Aaron Nix, your commentator, as the action rolls on here at the sold-out Studio Theatre in Salisbury. And this is the match of a lifetime for our first competitor in this one-on-one matchup, because this is his opportunity to stake his claim as one of the big guns of British professional wrestling. The undeniable Brandon Lee, one of the prize assets of the All-Star Wrestling South Wrestling School. ASW South has crafted an astonishing talent in Brandon Lee, who looks to shine brighter than anyone else tonight and stake his claim as he makes his debut for All-Star Wrestling South in arguably the biggest matchup of his career to date. Certainly the matchup that he believes is the biggest in his career so far. The undeniable Brandon Lee has quite the obstacle ahead of him.
And his opponents.
Well, Brandon Lee certainly seems to be in no mood for any shenanigans tonight. He's going to have his game face on, because he's facing British wrestling royalty. Brandon Lee looks to prove that he's undeniable, but if there's one man who can prove otherwise, it is his opponent here tonight. As the smoke lifts on the beautiful entrance of All-Star Wrestling South, here comes the smoking ace himself, Charlie Sterling. One of the most decorated and exciting young men that professional wrestling has ever had. Seasoned and crafted across every great wrestling landscape from Japan to the United Kingdom. One half of the Smoking Aces, one half of the most devastating tag teams in all of professional wrestling. A man who has held gold in every single major British and Irish wrestling promotion that has ever stood tall. And he'll be looking to humble the extremely quick and rising star of the undeniable Brandon Lee. But just think about this for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, as Charlie Sterling is extremely popular and understandably one of the most likable men in all of British professional wrestling. But just think what it will do for the career trajectory of Brandon Lee if he can knock off Charlie Sterling here tonight. There doesn't seem to be any fear in the eyes of Brandon Lee. He's not starstruck by the power and the all-round enthusiasm of Charlie Sterling, and he can't afford to be. It's over to Michelle and Dan for the announcements.
How we doing, Salisbury? Have we had a good time? Are we ready for one more match before the break? Are the good guys gonna win? Are the bad guys gonna win? Oh, you're gonna win, people, not Charlie Sterling! Shut your mouths! Hey, put some respect!
Pretty evident who's popular here at the Studio Theatre in Salisbury, ladies and gentlemen. This sold out crowd are red hot for the smoking ace, Charlie Sterling. But I'll tell you what, how about the conditioning, the impression? Look at the size of Brandon Lee, ladies and gentlemen. I've had the privilege of watching Brandon Lee already crafting himself across the country. Oh, Charlie Sterling is really firing up this audience right now. The adrenaline is fun. Oh, careful, you don't want to blow yourself up there, kid. I don't think Charlie Sterling understands the meaning of the term blown up, frankly, but Brandon Lee, as we said, looks to stand at around 6'4", 250. He's lean, he's mean, he's undeniable, and this is his opportunity. Referee Steve Linsky in charge of this 1 fall to a finish singles contest between Charlie Sterling and Brandon Lee. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what All-Star Wrestling South. Brandon Lee's attitude notwithstanding, one of the most exciting and impressive young talents to come out of the All-Star Wrestling South School. Joel Redmond has done an astonishing job in building the next generation of British professional wrestling. Brandon Lee seems to be in an extremely bad mood considering how important this match is. Oh, Charlie Sterling's certainly not going to... oh, wow, I tell you what. Careful now. You don't get to be in Charlie Sterling's position without being... In many ways, Charlie Sterling was in Brandon Lee's position a number of years ago when he first started out. He was tall, he was brash, he was cocky, he was in incredible shape, but he needed to learn the professional ways of British wrestling. It's a cruel mistress, is this business, and a huge collar and elbow tie-up, a stiff, powerful lock-up between two big horses, and Charlie Sterling and Brandon Lee looking to assert their dominance on each other. Oh, for the early goings, the undeniable takes Brandon Lee down with a shoulder block, and so I was going to mention earlier, 6'4", 250, Brandon Lee is a powerhouse with the athleticism of a man half that weight. Charlie Sterling looking to regroup and redouble his efforts. You don't get to be one half of the Smoking Aces, one half of the Progress and Rev Pro Tag Team Champions without knowing a little thing or two about being one of the best in professional wrestling. It's going to take a monumental effort to knock off someone of the nature of Charlie Sterling. Brandon Lee applies a headlock and Charlie Sterling sends him off the ropes, looks to sweep his legs out right underneath him. And Brandon Lee again, great shoulder block, great power. That's twice now that Brandon Lee has beaten Charlie Sterling to the punch, and that is not what a lot of people would have expected. Well, up until this juncture, he absolutely is out wrestling him, but it's extremely early doors, and Brandon Lee would do well to stay focused and pay attention, because Charlie Sterling is as dangerous and as skillful as they come. Headlock applied by Brandon Lee as he gets set off the ropes while Charlie Sterling looks to sweep his legs out. Beautiful leapfrog there by Charlie Sterling. The athleticism massively on the right. Oh, wow. The stiffest of all shoulder blocks. Just flattens him and again flattens Brandon Lee. And now Brandon Lee getting a taste of his own medicine. Oh, wow. Floating right over and rolling through. And the speed. Look at that hiccup, that hip toss by Brandon Lee. By Charlie Sterling, excuse me, on Brandon Lee. Takes him right over and... He's been moving so quickly, it's hard for me to keep up, ladies and gentlemen. And I have watched Charlie Sterling and Brandon Lee tear it up all over the country against different opponents, but they finally meet one-on-one for the first time. And Brandon Lee looking to create separation. There's something that's really underrated about Brandon Lee. He doesn't mind a bit of street fighting. He's as physical and as nasty as they come. Youth certainly has not deterred him from his attitude adjustment as of late, and he's looking to really use that attitude to his advantage by wearing down Charlie Sterling.
Hey!
see in the eyes of Brandon Lee, the posturing. He has no respect for Charlie Sterling, who explodes out of corner with that lariat. That's the thing with someone like Charlie Sterling, you cannot afford to give him any room, and oh boy. Oh wow, and now Charlie Sterling just laying it right to the left. Teeing off like a prize fighter in a corner, and I think Brandon Lee has incensed the veteran of professional wrestling in Charlie Sterling, who's now going to teach this young kid a lesson by raining down blows in the corner. Brandon Lee looking to create separation as bailed out. That's quite smart for the young man, it has to be said. Charlie Sterling looks far from impressed, looking on from in ring as Brandon Lee finds it. Oh, look out, Charlie Sterling's going to beat him at the juncture, and a nasty surprise awaits Brandon Lee. Charlie Sterling's going to send him right back into the ring. You're not getting away from me that easily, sunshine. That's how Charlie Sterling looks as he bounces Brandon Lee's head off the hardest part of the ring, right off that canvas. And this is what Charlie Sterling does. He loves to perform. He loves the energy of the professional wrestling audience, particularly one as red hot as the Studio Theatre here in Salisbury tonight. And now he begins to rain down those blows on Brandon Lee, and there's no escaping these. The perfect 10 in terms of combination strikes from Charlie Sterling of Brandon Lee as he sends him off the ropes. Oh, wow! A picture perfect drop kick and a 2 count. And wow, Charlie Sterling was in the rafters. The elevation, what a beautiful vertical leap there off of that drop kick. And Charlie Sterling in firm control here, as a lot of people might have expected against the much more rookie-like abilities of Brandon Lee. But that being said, Brandon Lee has not been trained by any old school. He's been trained by the best. Oh my god, a back elbow. And Charlie Sterling catches him coming in. And Brandon Lee really, Brandon Lee was looking to come into the corner there. And he captures Charlie Sterling, puts the brakes on and sends him right into the post. And you saw that left shoulder collide. There is nothing but harsh, unforgiving metal on that wrestling ring post. And Charlie Sterling speared that with all of his intention. He was looking to connect with Brandon Lee, and you can see the pain he's in. And you think about what kind of injuries that could do to an individual like Charlie Sterling. And this is where Brandon Lee now needs to cut his teeth. We spoke earlier on tonight about Niwa and his shark-like mentality, and I know that Brandon Lee looks up to Niwa tremendously in terms of his viciousness. I'm sure Niwa will be watching on with keen interest to see how one of the young charges of the All-Star Wrestling South Academy does against a vaunted opponent like Charlie Sterling. Now that's very smart. That has to be said from Brandon Lee. Wrenching away that left arm, wrapping it up in the ring ropes. There's nowhere to go. He could hyperextend a shoulder or an elbow. That's exactly what he wants to do. And oh my god, a big boot on the money. Again, Brandon Lee, a lot of posturing. I understand and I appreciate confidence, but we are not talking about any old scrub here. We're talking about one of the best in Charlie Sterling. And you cannot afford to give him time to recuperate. Brandon Lee knows this as well as anyone else. He's laying the lever right into Charlie Sterling.
This your guy! This your guy, yeah? Bring him off the rope! 1, 2, no!
Everything that Brandon Lee is doing right now, he's absolutely on the money in terms of debilitation. He's looking at wearing down a stiff right hand since Charlie Sterling rocking into the corner and all, and a nasty little palm straight uppercut there as well. Oh, Charlie Sterling able to explode out of the corner with a knife edge chop out of nowhere. His ability to absorb punishment is famed, and now Brandon Lee is really feeling the wrath, and it's a chop party like no other from Charlie Sterling to Brandon Lee. A clothesline from Charlie Sterling in the corner. And the undeniable one Finding it hard to deny the abilities of Charlie Sterling at this junction. Oh my god, a knife-edge chop. You're going to rip skin off with something like that. Welcome to the biz, kids. That's exactly what Charlie Sterling's thinking. Flair-esque knife-edge chop right across that chest. The mammoth chest, as to be said, of Brandon Lee. And Charlie Sterling struggling with that arm to build my and see there. He was looking to load up that left arm, and now Brandon Lee off the second rope. A beautiful spinning European uppercut. Captures him coming right in, and just a 2 count. And oh, Brandon Lee, the longer this match goes, the more he looks likely to pull off what would be considered an upset to many, as a relative rookie beating Charlie Sterling. But don't be fooled. Brandon Lee is up and down the country every single week, wrestling Britain's best. Yes, he may not have wrestled nearly as many years as Charlie Sterling. He may not have won the gold that Charlie Sterling has won. But Brandon Lee has all the tools and all the skills to be the best, to truly be undeniable. And frankly, right now, he has proven himself to be of an astonishing level. He has given Charlie Sterling everything he can handle up until this point. Now it's him who's going to rain down blows in the corner. Turnabout is fair play as far as Brandon Lee is concerned. His crowd far less willing to count along with Brandon Lee as they were with Charlie Sterling earlier. And Charlie Sterling pushing Brandon Lee off of him in the corner, catches him coming in, and now it's Brandon Lee's left shoulder that collides with the ring post. And there seems to be a lot of mirrored abilities here, and some people might argue that Brandon Lee very much looks like the kind of wrestler that Charlie Sterling was at his age. But Charlie Sterling is not exactly an old man in his own right. He's still got a lot more in the tank. He's still got a long way to go in his business himself, and he's not willing to leave it all at the door. This young man, the undeniable Brandon Lee, as he starts laying in the clotheslines, and he catches Brandon Lee in a big scoop slam. Simple, effective, and wow, a standing moonsault to perfection. Pinfall attempt to just a 2 count, but wow, you saw the picture-perfect craft of Charlie Sterling on display there. Textbook moonsault. Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of Pharaoh-like nature. Steve Linsky remonstrating with Charlie Sterling, who took a bite out of the undeniable Brandon Lee. He might be undeniable, he's certainly not unbiteable. And now Charlie Sterling looking to build. He fancies himself a finish here. He's done playing games with this young man. It looks like he's going to ascend potentially to the top rope as he puts that arm back into position. It's taking a long time though, and Brandon Lee's not aware. Brandon Lee, brilliantly done. Captures that arm, hangs it up across the top rope, and now is he going to take advantage? He's got him up, and an Uchi right across his knee, the back of Charlie Sterling's head, and oh my God, as close as it gets, 2 7/8. But whether Brandon likes it or not, Steve Linsky in perfect position. It was a 2 count. It was close, but it was 2. This match continues between Brandon Lee and Charlie Sterling. Oh, wow. Nothing fancy about that, but it is smart strategy. Trying to destroy, frankly, tear that limb clean off at Charlie Sterling. Oh, boy. Careful, Brandon. You want to be very careful. Shoving Steve Linsky off. You do not want to end your dream match with a disqualification. And referee Steve Linsky giving a bit of lenience to Brandon Lee, understandably. But he will not tolerate too much more nonsense from this young man. The raw aggression, the raw talent is evident in Brandon Lee.
Finish!
He signals for the finish, but until he can make the finishing line, it's all to play for. And a fireman's carry from Brandon Lee. Well, Charlie Sterling looking to wriggle free. And he is able to. He's got him out. And oh my God, the cutter out of nowhere. Quite frankly, Charlie Sterling catches Brandon Lee coming in. Brandon Lee, that moment of hesitation might cost him as Charlie Sterling ascends to the top rope and a moonsault catches him flush. Is that going to be enough? Yes, it is. Knock up another win for the veteran, for the soon-to-be British legend. The smoking ace Charlie Sterling is victorious over a game undeniable Brandon Lee. A magical and admirable effort for the undeniable Brandon Lee. But it's Charlie Sterling with the veteran guard who comes out on top tonight.
John is backstage here at ASW South. I'm joined by Charlie Sterling after that hard-fought victory against very talented youngster Brandon Lee. I don't know how you're feeling after that one. You look like you're in a little bit of discomfort, Charlie.
Jonas, how you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
It's great to be here in Salisbury. Do you know why I have a bad shoulder? For a second, I underestimated Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee, he is the best wrestler in All-Star South. He is the best wrestler I wrestled south of Birmingham, next to London, next to Bath, anywhere. This man has potential. He took me to 15 plus minutes in that match. I have wrestled up and down this country, Jonas. I am a Progress Wrestling Tag Team Champion. I've won Tag Team Championships all across this country. That young man, he took me to the point where I didn't think I was going to get through. But thank God for the Salisbury faithful. They dragged me through, Jonas. I got through. I won my match. Okay, the physio says I might have sprained my ACG joint, but hey, I'll be back in Salisbury again. And this time, is there a championship coming? Because if there is, Jonas, I want a shot.
John is backstage here at ASW South. I'm joined by the undeniable Brandon Lee. A hard-fought loss against Charlie Sterling. A heck of a match between the two of you in front of this red-hot crowd in Salisbury. I've got to know how you're feeling.
I should have had him. I did have him. Charlie Sterling's one of the best in the UK. There's no denying that whatsoever. But I had him right there. I just let the emotions get the best of me on this night. But you've not seen the last of Brandon Lee, and Charlie Sterling definitely has not seen the last of Brandon Lee.